Good morning. Welcome to our Saturday morning edition of Bailey the Bookman, coming to you live as usual from Bailey Books here in St. Albert. Um, it's great to have you folks jump in and be a part of this. We can connect a little bit, if only virtually. Um, this is my mug today, Creature from the Black Lagoon. Scary movie. Some great songs. Dave Edmunds and Rockpile. They have a song called "The Creature from the Black Lagoon." You never checked out Dave Edmunds and or Rockpile? Man, those guys can rock. So grab a beverage, warm, cold, whatever your choice is. It's 5 o'clock somewhere on the planet, right? Mm, okay. So the other day when we came on, it was minus 30 here in St. Albert with the wind chill. It was crazy cold that day. That was only a couple of days ago. So today we have rocketed up to minus 12. Bright and sunny as usual here in Alberta. So spring apparently is coming. We're up to minus 12. Woo! What do you know? Next thing we're going to be seeing flowers and grass and yeah, someday. Good morning, Rob. Welcome aboard. Always good to see you here. Thanks for joining us. What's your beverage of choice this morning, Rob? Well, be honest. Okay, so it's been a little weird, obviously, the last few weeks. I mean, things are dramatically different than normal, but it's seems to me it's like we've been trapped in that space between Christmas and New Year's, where you're never quite sure what day it is. We don't even have, the World Junior Tournament to check. See if it started. Well, we know it's Christmas Day. Uh, Morning, D. Coffee? What? Deanna having coffee? Yes, it's like coffee, coffee. I need that. Just kidding. Oh, she likes her coffee. So, yeah, I don't know. Are the rest of you kind of experiencing that weird kind of time thing? It's like, what day is it? What should I be doing? I mean, yeah, I'm older. I still have a day timer. I'm not sure. Probably a lot of you don't even know what a day timer is, but it's an actual physical book that I've used for years and years and years, and it's has a monthly thing, so you can keep track of meetings and you know medications, all sorts of things, and it was very useful over the years. um, and it kept me on track, and I still use it. I know a lot of people don't. It's paper, blah blah blah. I use it and a phone. Yes, I have a phone, of course. um, but these days it's like I flip through the pages and it's like blank 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 blank. So I don't know. Maybe we're stuck in an episode of Groundhog Day. The Bill Murray classic. If you haven't seen that, check that out. Lots of things actually we can be checking out while we're in this particular phase of the world. Morning, Fun Day Coast. Hope they hold summer on Saturday. Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah. Happy Thursday. Woo! um, So movie classics, Groundhog Day, awesome. It's a classic of sorts. It's over 10 years old, so I guess it qualifies. Tropic Thunder. Now it's not a movie for the kids, so maybe get them to bed if you want to check that one out. But oh my gosh! And my favorite part, Les Grossman. Yeah, let's dance. Yeah, let's dance. Les Grossman. First time I saw the film, I'm watching this Les Grossman character, and he's doing his thing, and he's just like over the top and going, "Who is that? Who is that? Who is that?" Well, it turns out it was Tom Cruise. I hope I'm not wasting or spoiling for folks, but Yeah, Tom Cruise, and it's just unbelievable. Okay, so there's some things we can do while we're trying to get through this phase we're in. Um, I still use Daytimer. Yeah, there you go, Fundy. Huh? We're a couple of smart people. Um, we are starting 11 Star Wars movies marathon this morning. Awesome. 11? Really? There's 11 now? I can remember when I worked for Shaw Cable way back in the day, we launched the first movie channel. And yeah, that's how old I am. What was the movie that launched that channel? The very first Star Wars movie. It was crazy. Like it was a huge event. That goes way back. Um, so this kind of inspired me for today's episode to talk about uh, is there a book for that? So while we're all self-isolating, staying home and staying safe, which we all need to be doing, and I know we all are, right? Excellent. I thought, well, this would be a great time to take up a hobby or try something new. Maybe you've always thought, gee, I just don't have time for that, or haven't gotten around to it. This is the perfect time. Um, so let's look at some books that would help with that. Now, of course, I know you can go online, you can Google all sorts of stuff, but I'm not sure all these books that I have here today to look at, you would be you would be able to find online, certainly on some of these topics. So here's one I've had in the shop for a while. I've always really liked this book, and it's called The ABC and XYZ of Bee Culture from the AI Root Bee Library. Really nice, kind of gilt stamped titles on it. And so back in the day, because this book is from 1929, if you wanted to take up beekeeping, you would probably need a book like this if you didn't have someone to steer you through it. So I mean, it was full of all sorts of illustrations and you know advice about how you could raise bees. So, and I know that's actually gaining some popularity again these days. Uh, People are doing beehives in their backyards. Okay, I was thinking about my grandma Fox, the other day, who came to Alberta. She was born in 1898. Wow, can you imagine? Um, so that's three generations. Grandma, who was my mom's mom, and then me. So from her, born in 1898 to 123, we've gone from essentially, um, horses and wagons to putting remote vehicles on Mars. That's pretty astounding when you think about it. I wonder if my grandma ever thought about anything like that even being possible. Anyways, when they came to Alberta, they arrived in Wainwright by train and loaded everything that they owned up onto a wagon pulled by oxen, so the story goes. And grandma, being a teenage girl, climbed up onto the wagon, sat on the stove, and off to the homestead they went, where she spent the next 2 years before she made it back into town. Because, in those days, why would a woman need to go into town? That's for men, right? So, yeah, things have changed a little bit, hopefully. So, back when you were out on the homestead, the access to just about anything was not really handy. So there was all sorts of books like this, and this one's called The Modern Medical Counselor. This one's kind of newer in terms of what those folks would have been using, but so you get a rash, you get some sort of illness or medical issue. It's not like you call up the doctor and they come out, or you whip into town and go to the clinic. You had to figure it out for yourself. So these sorts of books were very, very helpful for our early settlers and pioneers. Nolan Kraus. Goodness gracious. Hi, Nolan. How are you? Glad you could join us this morning. Um, I would say you have it figured out, Nolan. If you're here and you're participating, you're right on. Fun day. Now people cannot stay out of Walmart for 2 weeks. Yeah, right. I've managed to avoid Costco now for almost a month. No, for Saturday at 10:40 and listening. Awesome. Uh, Nolan's an old friend, and we're sure glad you could join us. I hope you and Gwen and the whole clan are doing well, staying safe, Nolan. Okay, here's a book that I came across, and there's actually quite an industry here in Alberta of raising buffalo. It is, if you've never had a chance to sample buffalo, we have. It's one of Deanna's and mine's favorite is the ribs at either 19 here in St. Albert, or, oh gosh, what's the name of the restaurant, D? Um, as in, yes, old friend. We're just about the same age, Nolan. Laurent, thank you, D. So, yeah, and I mean, and as we know, the Aboriginal people of North America survived on this beast. It was an integral part of their culture and their way of life. So, and a matter of fact, one of the episodes that I did last, what was it? Last winter, I guess, when we went out to the farm just kind of north and west here of St. Albert. While we were driving back in, we came across a herd of buffalo that were grazing right there. Um, so, uh, yeah, if you're going to raise buffalo, you would certainly need a book like this. I would think. I'd like to have one. Never had buffalo, but have been told it tastes a lot like moose meat. Um, I would disagree with that, Fundy. I've had lots of moose meat, and it's good, but it's the buffalo meat is so lean and when it's prepared properly, it's just lovely. It's excellent. Moose meat, I'm not, it's a little bit tougher. Not that I'm complaining. Moose meat's good. Um, what else we got going? Okay, here's one you could try while we're all isolated. Um, Festive Ukrainian cooking. Had the benefit in our family of having Ukrainian relatives. Yes, Donna, I'm talking to you. And there's nothing like authentic Ukrainian cooking. So if you wanted to try some Ukrainian recipes, um, this would be the book for you. I am not a cook. I'm more of an eater than a cooker. So I won't be trying that book out. Here's one. How to make your own furniture. Now that would be, if you have kind of some of the tools and materials, I suppose, that would be something that you could do up in this time where you've got lots of spare time. So yeah, I'm interested to hear from folks that are watching this morning about, have you taken anything up new or gotten around to something that you've put off the past however many years and tried something well you've had the opportunity. um, G. Woodward should buy the Ukrainian book. Yes. Is there a book on how to write a book? Well, Nolan, I'm glad you asked that question, because yes there is. Here it is, the Novel Writer's Toolkit. Over the years, off and on, I've taken a stab at writing fiction, without very much success. And with a furniture book, of course, yes, G is She has a degree in furniture design, right? So yes, Nolan, novel writer's toolkit. Are you thinking about writing a book, Nolan? And would it be fiction, nonfiction? What sort of a book would you like to write, or anyone else that's watching? Um, I have the stuff I've taken a stab at are it was it's a kind of a how would you describe it? It was a book based on the Warren Zevon album, Werewolves of London. And I took all of the songs on that album, and if you look at them and listen to them, there's a story in there, and it involves werewolves and all sorts of stuff. And I kind of, it's been a work in progress for a long, long time. I probably will never finish it, but it's fun to poke at now and again. And I've also recently started writing a Sherlock Holmes pastiche for a little project. It's coming along quite well. Um, Furniture, nonfiction. Nolan, come on, let's have a little fun. Marvin the Mayor Murder Mystery. So, Nolan, if you're interested in writing a novel, I can help you out with that book. Um, Here's one, Ship Model Building. Now, when I was a kid, I used to love models. And I like to build airplanes. I like to build cars especially. And I like to build, they used to have these monster kits, right? You could get Frankenstein and the Mummy and Dracula and all sorts of creatures, uh, including this one. And it was, one of those plastic model kits with the glue, and you put it all together and paint it all up. And they were fun. They were a lot of fun. I never built, kind of ship in a bottle type thing that was really intricate. Not to say you couldn't try it out. Okay, what's Nolan? I don't think I have read a fiction book since high school. Hardy Boys and Hans Springer and the Silver Skates. The working title. Well, that's interesting, Nolan. Although I'm very much the same these days. Most of the books I've read recently being the past few years, are about the book trade, about books, about book binding, collecting books, reference books, that sort of thing. Um, Inside of this book, there is this giant fold-out blueprint thing about how to build a gigantic ship. Wow, that would be interesting. Therapeutic too, I bet. Relaxing. Anyways, yeah, maybe you want to build a model. Well, we're all. And there's another one in here. This is awesome. I get to look at some of the books here in the shop that I haven't pulled off the shelf for some time. Obviously. Um, let's see. What are we looking at? Okay. Um, Next one. Oh yes. Here's one. Bonsai. Always wanted to try this. It seemed like a very meditative hobby that you could take up, but I have literally a black thumb when it comes to gardening. It's like plants see me coming and they, oh my God, we'll just die now because it'll just be quicker. Except for the one plant that was in my mom's room for the past many years. And when mom passed away, I took that plant home, and it has actually thrived. And it blooms, and it has these gorgeous red things with the other thing, and then yeah, I don't know why, but that's generally I just tend to kill green living things. But I mean, book like this, it would be very helpful, I would think, to help you along with a hobby like bonsai. Okay, I don't know if this is a appropriate for these days or not. Street survival tactics. Yikes! Um, look at these. Look at these pictures. Yeah, I haven't seen a policeman dressed like that in a very long time. I'm not sure how well these tactics have stood up because this book was produced in originally 1980. So, oh goodness, things you find in books. Um, Photograph of a bank robber shot 33 times before being incapacitated. What were they shooting him with? Paintballs? Um, okay, here's one. Techniques of rug weaving. I've never woven anything, I don't think, because it's too complicated. I can't figure that kind of stuff out. Now, G. Woodward is an amazing quilter and worker of fabrics. Let me think. Hey, Barry, have you these? Yes. Ghost at Nolan. The view count is displayed on. Yeah, there's and as so these are archived on my YouTube site, and if people have missed seeing it live, they can go back and to the archive and can view this later at any time. And lots of folks do because I see the counts go up as the days go on. Use those who watch after the fact. Yeah. Why are you thinking of starting up your own YouTube channel, Nolan? What would if you were going to start a YouTube channel, folks? What would you talk about? What would you present? I mean, I have all the books I get to talk about. I have an almost endless supply of topics. So if you were going to do one, what kind of a YouTube channel would you do? Okay, here's a book on square dancing, and this brings back very fond memories for me when we were kids. Um, our mom and dad and me and my two brothers and the Watsons next door, all of our families, we'd load up, we'd drive to Penticton because our parents were avid square dancers, and we would go to Penticton just about every summer because they had a great big square dancing jamboree, I think they called it. Excuse me. And we had so much fun. And they would hold square dance parties in someone's basement and just get together and do all the calls, and the women dressed up with these great dresses that they had. What are they called? Crinolines, I think. So the dresses were all poofy, and the men had these awesome cowboy shirts with the bolo ties, and it was great times. I don't know. Do people still square dance? They should. Sure seemed like fun. Here's a here's a book you don't see all the time. 6 Ways to Restore a Rope. I guess if you only had one or two, you would want to have this book around as opposed to go buy another one. Anyways, this is kind of a scarce title. Haven't had much interest in it over the years, so. Okay. Oh goodness. Okay. I hope you can't hear that. I'm hungry. So no one's going to start a YouTube channel. What would you do? Hmm? Here's another one, kind of a scarce book. It's called Building with Mud. I guess if that's the only material you have to work with, you could do that. This was published by the Ontario Department of Lands and Forests, and it doesn't actually give us a date, but judging by the photographs in it, this is pretty interesting. Didn't know you could build a house that looked like that out of mud. I think this is around late 20s, 30s, maybe mid 30s, something like that. There you go. You want a house that's not wood or steel? Build one out of mud. Or you could build one with logs. Now that's quite an art form to building log cabins. You need some very specialized tools, such as these used for peeling bark, and it's I don't think it would be easy um, building a log cabin because they're bloody heavy. So how do you get them up the wall? And yeah, you'd have to have a clue about what you're doing, but boy, they last a long time. Okay, 100 years ago, the Bank Holy Art Gallery had first used with dynamite to blow up a safe, if I recall. Arts and Heritage should celebrate with that bank robbery event. Are you serious? So someone used dynamite to try to break into the safe? Uh, the bank, for those of you who don't know, the this is a bank on the corner of our main street here in St. Albert. It's been there for a very long time, and the safe is still there. But right now it is a heritage site, and it houses our fantastic art gallery of St. Albert. As a matter of fact, we just renovated that building here in the past year and a bit, and the vault is still in place, and we use it as an area to host videos and displays and programming of all sorts. It's a very cool old building. Uh, how to Rob a Bank book. That's bad. No. Well, but you know what? I'm going to jot that idea down, and maybe this summer or this fall, um, we could do a bank robbery event. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Okay, we'd have to be careful. Okay, this I know this book kills me. It's and I've shown it in an episode or two in the past, but can you see that? Boy Scouts in Bondage. It's not what you think. This is a book on strange book titles that imply things by accident. And so I've picked out a few here that are with our theme today, like this one: How to Recognize Leprosy. Yeah, there's a skill you want to have. And these are actual books published at some point in time. Most of these titles I really don't want to show on here because they might be deemed inappropriate. Uh, Here's one that is apropos to our current condition. It says, when nursing sick children, never kiss anyone on the mouth. What to do if it's catching? Well, you stay home. You wash your hands. You don't go to work unless you're absolutely required to. You know, right? Practice all of the things we need to stay safe. That's what you do. And one more here. I don't. Simple hints for mothers on the home sex training of boys. What? Know what that means? Um, I don't recall this when I was a youngster. Uh, for some influences and experiences which must always be immoral and dangerous, the mother should protect her little boy as far as possible. Okay, there you go. Straight. Um, just to round out, here are some other book titles. When I was in England years ago, visiting our daughter, our youngest daughter, who was working there at the time. I went into London as often as I could, and I found this bookshop, and they had produced these. These are cards for any occasion because they're blank. And again, these are real book titles. Here's one: Leadership Secrets of Attila the Hun. Clearly, this is a handbook that some politicians and folks of political stripe have taken to heart lately. That's all we'll say about that. How to be happy, though human. You can be happy and be human, right? Um, how to abandon ship. Great book to have, if you're on the Titanic or you find yourself in a dilemma. And what I like about this is actually the second edition. It was so popular, they had to print a second edition. Now, this is something that we all really need to know: how to make pastry attractive. I mean, back in the day, they could print books about absolutely anything and put them out there. Uh, how to avoid work. This was probably a huge bestseller back in the day. How to move into a job you enjoy. How to get the money you want for the greatest possible ease. How to control your future from now on with pleasure. Avoid work. Okay, well, this I can remember this sort of stuff when I was a kid. Atomic bombing, how to protect yourself, right? You do these drills, get under your desk, put your hands behind your head, crouch down, and kiss your ass goodbye. Sorry. Um, yeah, atomic bombing. And matrimony, it's obligations and privileges. There are both, if you didn't know. Okay. All right. I think that about wraps us up for. Is there a book for that? There's tons more out there, and I hope you enjoyed this look at some of these books. I hope you're finding some things to do at home, with your significant other or your family. If you've got school-age children at home, oh my God, I feel so bad for you. We do not. We have Dixie, the head of security, and DNI, and so we're doing okay. We're hanging in there. I hope all the rest of you are as well. Uh, how to rob a bank? Did I miss something? Rob. Okay. Uh, so I've had some feedback about the times that we are putting these on, and I've got complaints from some folks out on the West Coast that 9:30 in the morning is too early, and oh, I have to go to work in the mornings. Why I can't watch? Oh yes, Rob's got 4 kids at home. Well, Kim has 5 kids at home. That includes you, Rob. Poor Kim. Oh my gosh. Hang in there, kid. So we're gonna adjust our times next week for these. And we're gonna try the Tuesday and Thursday broadcasts, if you will, at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and hopefully that allows more folks to join in and participate and see what we're up to. So we're going to keep Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Standard. We're going to adjust the Tuesday and Thursday broadcast starting this upcoming Tuesday to 1 p.m. We'll see if that works any better. Feels like 17. What else? Okay. So again, if you have a book you're interested in, you can look at all of our stuff here at Bailey Books at baileybookman.com. You can send me an email, baileybooks@telus.net. If you have any questions about anything you've seen or something you're looking for, maybe I can help you out. I can arrange a contactless delivery if you do find something you're interested in. I want to thank a huge heartfelt shout out to all the folks out there who are working, who are keeping us fed, who are protecting us, all of our frontline health workers. We couldn't do it without you folks, and we want you to know you're very, very much appreciated, and thank you. The rest of us, stay home, stay safe, and stay healthy. Okay, I'm going to read one last thing. Interesting approach and another thing deeper both things in form. Thanks, this and good to chat. Yes, thanks for joining in, Nolan. When this is all done, restaurants are open. We're going to go for dinner and have a wonderful visit and a chat with yourself and Gwen. And wouldn't that be lovely just to get back to, hey, you guys want to go for dinner? Yeah, missed that. Okay, thanks for tuning in. That's it for this episode of Bailey the Bookman. We'll see you Tuesday, 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Stay safe, stay healthy. Everyone take care.